here with Todd Stittelberg, the Antler King himself. This man has forgotten more about whitetail nutrition and food plotting than I think I'll ever know, and I think I know quite a bit. What do we do when our food plots fail? Because we all have food plots fail for all sorts of reasons. Maybe we're using 4-year-old seeds. Maybe Mother Nature doesn't decide to rain for us for the next month after we've went ahead and planted. Specifically, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about how you're using fall, winter, spring cereal rye to go ahead and salvage these plots. Run with it, Mud.
Well, reality is simply that. It's happened to me a number of times. Fall, winter, spring is a fall-only planting. I generally don't plant it here in Wisconsin until right around the 1st of September. Okay. And so talk about a great tool to have in your food plot arsenal chest, to have that food plot rescue plant, if you will. So in those scenarios where I've encountered situations where I don't get any rain for a month and my plots don't germinate, I can always rely on the fall, winter, spring to plant, you know, in a sense as a rescue if need be.
And one of the nice things about it is, yeah, in this case, you went ahead and drilled it.
Right.
Okay. But I'm telling you, my friend, it is really pretty darn rare that I actually traditionally plant cereal rye. What I'm doing is I'm taking 1 part lights out oats, I'm taking 3 parts fall, winter, spring. That's giving me my cereal rye. I'm going ahead and mixing them, and I actually plant way heavier than anybody recommends because I'm trying to get as maximum of soil benefit along with create as much food. I'm doing nothing more than throwing 150 pounds per acre of that stuff right on top of the dirt before a rain.
Right, before a rain.
And that's it. Yeah. I didn't work any dirt. And so when those corn fields or those soybean plots fail, who cares? If there's any food out there at all, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that on top. When they're thriving, who cares? I'm going to throw that on top. That is so key in this, in my opinion. 2 things. 1, that you can plant it so late, and 2, that you don't have to work the soil.
It's user-friendly. It is so user-friendly. And it grows so fast, too. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is I've been testing some other varieties over the years, and in 2021, I have reduced the winter peas that are in the fall, winter, spring down to 10% from 30%, included 10% of a variety of buckwheat that I've been testing and 10% of a variety of radish. So long story short, we made a good product great.
Well, those radishes right there are going to do nothing. Of course, they're going to draw deer,
yep.
But at the same time, they grow quite deep, don't they?
Oh, yeah. They're mining the soil.
They're mining the soil, and they're breaking up hard pan.
Yes.
Now, so what you're doing is you're taking an even better product, and a good product, and make it even better. One more thing I did want to talk about briefly is when it comes to in-woods food sources. We know the advantages of creating staging plots in the woods. Okay, they're painfully obvious. The problem, though, is that you almost never have decent light, and people are trying to plant brassicas, and they're trying to plant clovers in poor soils. And what does fall, winter, spring do for you in those regards?
You know, it's going to probably perform best in full sun.
Of course.
But it is so user-friendly that it certainly would be a go-to when you're encountering really poor soil, low pH soil, somewhat shady areas. It's going to perform probably the best in those scenarios than anything else.
Every year I'm making at least 10 new in-woods food sources. Guess what I'm planting every time? The first at least 2 to 3 years? Fall, winter, spring.
Yeah.
Why? Because I want to build that soil. Todd Stittelberg has just spent this episode schooling us on how good cereal rye is for benefiting the soil. Outstanding for saving failed plots, because you can go ahead and plant this stuff later than virtually any other planting, and It is so user-friendly. See, if you're going to have a serious management plan, you really want cereal rye and clovers to be intricate parts of it because they just bling feed deer. And at the same time, we can make our farm crops stretch further. This is a great way to build soil within the woods while helping the deer so tremendously. Do I have it about right, Todd?
You do. I mean, whenever I think food plots, I think 24/7, 365. Definitely have a clover variety or group of clovers.
Yep.
Our trophy clover has 4 varieties
I
of
would
clover,
agree with group.
chicory, and so on. So that's going to be kind of the focal point for the whole deer family, providing protein, energy, and highly digestible nutrients to them spring, summer, fall.
You got it.
If we come in now and plant our fall, winter, spring in the fall, that's going to provide a great food source for early and late fall into the winter, and going to give the whole deer family that protein and energy kick right now in March and April that they really need. Now come May, our clovers is greening up, maybe even the middle of April or whatever, but you see how we're connecting that whole seasons. You know, we got to think 365 when we think food plots.
Exactly, and I'll just add one more thing to that. You not only need to think 365, think seasonal low point for food. If you want to do the most possible good when it comes to supplying nutrition, supply it during the seasonal low point. When's the seasonal low point in Wisconsin?
Well, you're going to be looking at February, March.
When is the stuff
Yeah.
valuable? Oh,
Yeah.
that happens to be exactly
Yeah.
when. Thanks, Todd. This was awesome.